Man, if your life is like mine, here's what I know. It seems like we're always running in 1,000 different directions. And many times we're running in those directions for really good things. But one of the things we know about Scripture is this: when a good thing becomes a main thing, we refer to that as an idol. And we know in our own spiritual journey that idols can be dangerous. Man, one of the boundaries that I think is super important for us as a family to create is simply a family boundary. Hey, how often are we willing to forsake being together to pursue something that, hey, it may be good, but it might not be necessary? Man, some of the questions you can ask as you create this family boundary is, hey, how many nights a week are we willing to be apart? Hey, how many weekends a month are we willing to be separated? Or maybe it's even, hey, how early are we willing to begin these things? I know this, Mom and Dad, your children need you. As I look back on my athletic journey and as I look back on my life, man, I never regret my parents taking the time to truly be my parents. I believe we're living in a world where the family is necessary for us to see God move in an unbelievable way. So maybe you're on this athletic journey and you're in this place of chaos. Like, how do we bring it into focus? Here's what I would encourage you to do. Create a family boundary. You are the mom and dad. It's so easy to let this team or that coach or these things or this dream or this pursuit pull us into this stream that I believe ultimately can be dangerous. And what I've discovered in my own life is once we stop fighting against it and we get into that stream, here's what I've discovered about the stream. The further you go downstream, the swifter the current and the more dangerous the rapids. Maybe you're sitting here today and man, you're a mom and dad and you're like, whoa, we're way downstream, man. We're so caught up in this thing. Here's what I would challenge you to do. Just pause for a moment and call a timeout. Sit down as a family and say, hey, who do we really want to be? What is most important to us? Who do we want our son or daughter to be when they leave our household? And once you've determined those things, create a boundary and say, hey, here's what we're willing to forsake in order to do these things. And here's what we're unwilling to give up in order to do these things. I believe this, again, when it comes to your family, the most important and precious thing in your life, I believe creating a family boundary. I believe one day your son or daughter will look back and they'll actually tell you thanks for your willingness to put those boundaries in place.